Welcome to San Diego's most popular local morning news. Good morning, San Diego.
Good morning, everybody. I'm David Davis.
And I'm Kristen Casado. Thanks for being with us.
There's a lot going on. In this hour, we'll be talking to author Robert Mickelson, or better known as Big Belly Bob. Right there. There he is. Okay.
About what? About the belly?
About the lack of belly now.
Losing the belly.
You know, and he is under the philosophy that you don't necessarily have to diet. You don't necessarily have to work out. It's all a mindset. It's all of just a lifestyle change to get in better shape. And we'll be talking to him about that. And he's written a book about it.
Whatever works for you. Stephanie said the toss-up between giving birth and changing my lifestyle to eat better and work out.
Ooh, which leads us to our guest here in a little bit. Big Belly Bob. He's going to tell us all about changing lifestyles and losing some weight. That's in a few moments.
Very nice.
Nice segue.
Very nice.
All right. Well, speaking of losing weight without the help of diets or working out in the gym, we have a local author who says it can be done, and he's right there. Stay with us. Staggering 75% of men are overweight in America, but weight no longer has to be a struggle. Joining us this morning is local author Robert Mickelson. He's talking about losing weight without the help of gyms or diets, although those can be important in your life. It just depends. He's joining us right now. Your name actually is Robert, but you're also Big Belly Bob.
That's
and
right.
The name of the book, An Uncommon Approach to Weight Loss. I'll just hold up the book right here real quickly, right there. There's Big Belly Bob. And here's Big Belly Bob in the flesh. Good morning.
Good morning.
All
Thank you for having me.
You are still not a thin man by any means, but you have lost a lot of weight.
I've lost 50 pounds in the last year, and the best part about it is I'm not on a diet. There's no emotional guilt hanging over my head.
And there's a lot of pressure on big guys when someone not so big might say, you know, why can't you just lose that weight? Why don't you just stop eating?
And that's the biggest complaint is, well, why don't you just eat less and work out more? And it's so depressing that how do you get started? Because you fall off the wagon, how do you get back on? How do you start again? And that's where passive triggers come into play.
Now, how did it start for you?
I've been struggling for like the last 11 years, and I just kept going up and down, up and down. So the real core issue is how do you sustain? Because we all know we have to eat right and exercise. So how do you do that?
Right.
And so just through experimenting, and I found some research done by Dr. Maxwell Maltz back in the 60s that shows that the only way to sustain weight loss is through changing your habits. There's no quick fix pill. You have to change your habits, and you can only change one habit at a time.
And where did the idea of the book come from? Because, I mean, this is basically written a children's book.
It's a children's book for adults because it's such a depressing and emotional topic. I wanted to share my message in a very simple and positive format.
Yeah, and there's so many people like you out there that, you know, their makeup's not go out and run every day or diet every day. This takes some of the pressure off of those things.
That's right, and a passive trigger is anything that physically makes you feel better, because the better you feel physically, the stronger you are emotionally. And it acts as a catalyst to help you take the right steps towards eating right and exercising. Because again, we all know that's what you have to do. How do we get started?
Let's get to some of those examples then that you're talking about, these passive triggers.
I brought 4 examples. The first is wheatgrass, and you can either get it as it is and juice it yourself or get it in the powder format. And this is actually my passive trigger. We're all different, so we all may have different passive triggers to get us started. If I take wheatgrass in the morning and in the afternoon, it takes 2 minutes, within a day I start feeling better. And it makes me want to take that next step. It's all about feeling better physically so that emotionally you can take the next step.
So when you talk about take wheatgrass, what
you cut it and you put it right into a juicer and you get the little bit of juice.
And that does it for you.
Or you can take the powdered form and just put it in a glass of water, and it takes 2 minutes.
And you say passive trigger because it actually makes you...
Because it's easy to do, and it acts as a trigger. The benefits dramatically outweigh the cost. So it's a little bit of effort, little or no effort, to get a big reward.
Okay, simple bottled water here.
Water. Our bodies and our minds need it to function properly, and it's a matter of maybe just adding a couple glasses of water to our diet to make you feel better.
Maybe you're taking soda out of the mix then and adding water.
That would be a further step.
Yeah.
The first step is just to get started to feel better.
Okay.
And when you feel better and you're emotionally stronger, then somewhere else down the line, you can then start looking at removing soda. I, for example, will also go to the gym but I won't necessarily work out. I'll just sit in a sauna, and which is very passive, but I feel so good that in the future, well, then I'm not afraid to go to the gym, and then I want to walk.
Yeah, okay. Okay, next step?
Is green tea. And I'm not suggesting to switch from coffee to green tea, but there's a lot of great antioxidants in green tea. And adding this to an afternoon instead of a coffee will really just make you feel a lot better. It's about taking one step at a time.
How long does it take to switch over to, say, something like this?
So that's exactly my point. These three here are something that you add to a diet, so you're not removing anything.
Okay.
A passive trigger, I think, is easier if you add something. The last one is sugar, which is something you remove. And for some people, maybe that's their passive trigger. If you can just avoid the bad carbs, your white rice and white bread, and your cakes and your soda for one day, you physically will feel so much better.
I noticed in your book you had help in this, too. Your wife was part of it.
That's right.
This whole
and
process.
she's a big support.
Okay, now, tell us, when you first, you said 11 years ago you started feeling it. You've dropped 50 pounds just in the last year.
In the last year, without being on a diet, without this emotional guilt being over me, because whenever I fall off the wagon, there is no wagon to fall off, but to get started again, I'll have some wheatgrass. And that makes me feel good enough. It reminds me, make sure to drink a couple glasses of water to get the toxins out of my body, and then I'll go to the gym, but I don't work out. I just sit in the sauna, and I feel great. Now, I actually feel like going for a walk.
Right.
And now I feel strong enough to not have that soda. And if I ever fall off, I just start right back at the beginning again.
Robert Mickelson, thank you so much for being on the story of Big Belly Bob. Where can you pick this book up?
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com. We appreciate you coming in this
Thank you.
Thank you.